failure doesn't define you, it refines you.
Educate, empower, enable, impact. Thank you for tuning in to That Will Never Work, an award-winning podcast where we share inspiring information and personal experiences related to business and the entrepreneurial journey from those who are leaders in their respective field. Now, here's your host, author and business coach, Maurice.
Hey, everyone. Thank you very much for tuning in today. And so, if you heard that failure doesn't define you, let's be clear on that. Define you. It refines you. So a lot of times we take a look at failure and we take it personally. And in us taking it personally, we sometimes wear that idea of failure as a badge. And in those moments, we have put ourselves in a place that things aren't going to go right, that there'll always be left, that anytime we try to move forward, something pulls us backwards. We take one step, the issue takes us 2 steps back. And it's almost like we're playing that game of Mother May I, that children's game from back in the day, where everyone is asking, hey, Mother, may I take 2 steps, please? No, you may not. You may take 1 step forward or 2 steps backwards or whatever it is. So sometimes we look at failure in that space where we have a desire to get to another place or space. And unfortunately, when failure comes about, we take it personal because it makes us take a step back. It puts us in a position that we may not want to be in. We may not want to acknowledge or whatever. And unfortunately, sometimes individuals uses those failures as a barometer of who we are and where we're going and all those type of things. Again, that's a personal space for me. But one of the things that I did have to learn is that failure refines who you really are. It changes that definition. It changes that outlook. It changes the label. So the idea is failure isn't a label. What is it? It's really a lesson. And all it does, it exposes gaps in your understanding. So now you can grow from it and not shrink in it or around it or whatever it is. So failure, as I had just stated, that sometimes we label ourselves, but then we have other people that may label us as well. And so because of that, we wear that label and that defines who we are, and that's who we think we are. But if we take that opportunity of failure and understand that all it is a teaching tool. As I stated, it exposes the gaps in your understanding so you can grow. And so in my most recent space, and I've had a lot of teaching over the last couple years. Those of you who knows, I'm in school, right? I went back to school. For those of you who knows that or pay attention that, you know, I have gone back and gotten some more certifications in coaching. And so I'm was considered a master life coach. And I've had life purpose teaching and goal success teaching, happiness teaching, and those type of things. So I can, when I talk to my clients, you know, from a coaching perspective, or even my consulting clients, or even talking to you on this podcast, I can help each and every one of you, let alone myself, get to another place or space And in that, I understood in each one and every one of these options or opportunities that there were some things that I didn't necessarily know, and that I might have been not serving or helping or aiding individuals to get to a higher place because I didn't necessarily know. And so, unfortunately, I thought of myself as a failure because I was not getting the results that I had intended for the individual. But the thing is that because I didn't know, I took the time to do research, to study, to be taught, to be open-minded, to have conversations that allowed me to understand my gaps in my understanding so that I can grow. And so at this point in time, as I'm speaking to you today, I'm speaking to you from another point of view, another purpose, another aspect of life, and that you can make it, and you don't have to worry about those moments where you're like, hey, this thing didn't happen. Well, guess what? It didn't happen for a reason. Because you might have had the best laid plans. You could have missed one detail. You could have missed one situation, one conversation, one word that could have changed the whole definition of a statement or a question. It could be some of those little situations that can appear to become a failure, and we allow that to define who we are. But it is a teaching moment, so that way the next time that situation comes up, because guess what? Yes, that might have been the very first offer, but now you make a secondary offer, now a third and a fourth, and guess what? Now each one gets better because you've learned from the first, and then you learn from the second. And so today, are you open-minded enough to take a chance, to take a bet on yourself, to say, you know what? I'm willing to do this, and I'm willing to what appears to be a moment of failure, but I'm growing from this. I am taking the opportunity to learn, because all it is a lesson. And from me learning from these moments or these opportunities, I am now capable. I am now equipped to not just handle my situation, but assist someone to go through theirs. And I can be more equipped from an emotional, a mental, and sometimes physical perspective. And then there's another level of being spiritual as well. So are we able to help our brother and or our sister to get to another place and help them to understand that failure is not the end all be all. You don't have to live your life in that mental space. So I hope that each and every one of you today that are listening, that when you stop taking failure personally, you can start taking and you can start using it purposefully. When you stop taking failure personally, you can start using it purposefully. It is a lesson, and it is a situation that you can learn and grow from it. And it teaches you fortitude, steadfastness, consistency, whatever it is, the second time around, the third time around, the fourth time around, if it takes that long. And there should be some elements in that you can now move forward and grow in that space. So I challenge each and every one of you to now live a more purposeful life, learning that things like this, like a failure, is not who you are. So let's try to take off that nameplate That name badge. Hello, my name is Failure. Nope, we're no longer using that anymore. Right now, your name is Victory. And I'll talk to you later.
Thanks for listening. Follow Maurice Chism on social media to stay connected and check back weekly for new episodes. Until next time, that will never work. Or will it?